NZ Aerosports, Icarus Canopies, now Gyro. That's right, we've rebranded, and Gyro is our next generation. It honours our founder, as that's the name we knew him by, but Gyro also marks the start of a new chapter. And not to be biased, but it's going to be fucking epic. Long story short, we're more us than ever, so if you're new to the sport, or even a Sky God Ninja Turtle, welcome. I think our valiant leader Lucy, Gyro's daughter, says it best.
And we still got that fuck yeah attitude. Rebrand! Woo!
Rebrand woo indeed, Lucy. Anyway, head over to gyro.com for more info and get amongst you legends.
I was 19, broke, unemployed, and sold my girlfriend's canopy for drug money. So I thought I better sew her a new one. What a sentence, and what a story. This describes the humble yet outrageous beginnings of NZ Aerosports, the home of Icarus Canopies, in the words of our founder himself. From getting a paratrooper toy from his mom, watching parachutes at the DZ as a 6-year-old, jumping off the wharf with a parachute made from bed sheets, doing his first jump at 16, sewing his first canopy on a borrowed machine at 19, and starting to sell parachutes out of a garage in 1986, Paul Gyro Martin had an undying love for the sky. Our company started with one man with the wildest of spirits and a true blue sky dream, a renegade. In the time that Gyro created and ran the Icarus Canopies brand until he passed away in 2017, he pushed everything he had to its limits. We miss him, and we always will. Gyro is the next generation of NZ Aerosports. It honors our founder, of course, because it was the name we all knew him by, but Gyro the rebrand also marks the start of a new chapter, our next jump. Gyro is the space between sound and silence, art and science, chaos and calm. Gyro is a state of epic tranquility that transcends understanding. That moment, in the door, in free fall, mid-swoop, where nothing but the present exists. A perfect balance of euphoria and thrill. Gyro captures our passion for flying and our commitment to designing break-the-fucking-rules canopies that deliver pilots pure, wild flight. Hey gang, so I got a new book out. It's called The Upside of Fear, and it's exactly what you think it's about. It's about the good side of, well, getting scared. In it, we talk not only about the science and biology behind fear, but the psychology as well. And it's not just coming from me, it's coming from some of the best in the sport. Omar Alhigelan, Jeff Provenzano, Maxine Tate, and so many more have contributed their sometimes terrifying stories to the book to help you overcome your fear. So head to the lunaticfringepodcast.com. You're going to find the link to the book there, as well as the other books. It's available in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook right now.
Coming straight from the cockpit, it's another episode of Lunatic Fringe with the fucking pilot.
Ready, set, go! Back in the can for another edition of the Lunatic Fringe podcast and another new friendly smiling face on the other end of the line. Tell me, who the fuck are you and what do you do?
Hi, Dean. My name's Max Lesziak, and I fly parachutes for a living.
I love
Jump out
it.
of planes every day.
I love it. And you're doing it in a rather cool location as well, yeah?
Yeah, man. I'm in Thailand right now. Been here for about 2 years. I love everything about this place. It's paradise.
It's got to be fucking stunning from the air.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, if people haven't seen pictures, just come out here and jump. It's a great place for a holiday.
Right.
And yeah, views are spectacular.
So now, is it a lot of coastline or is it a lot of islands and stuff? Because I've never jumped there. I've been, but I've never jumped.
In the part of Thailand we're at, it's mostly coastline. Yeah, we're away from the popular islands.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing, I would think.
So actually the drop zone's kind of in the middle of nowhere, so you get the local experience of living with the Thai locals. There's not a lot of traffic out here, not a lot of chaos. Like if you ever been to Bangkok or heard about it, it's ridiculous, and I could never live there. But out here, it's small town vibes.
I mean, Bangkok was an experience, and getting to see like the floating markets and all that stuff, and what is it, Kowloon Street, I think is the name of it, where all the you buy all the scorpions on sticks and shit.
Oh man, to be honest, I don't spend a lot of time in Bangkok. What are the names of those? There's a few busy streets that are popular. I know one of
Yeah,
them you get all the red light district of
right. Yeah. We drove through that area just going out. Yeah, okay, okay. Well, so as I normally do, I want to get things started by jumping back to how you got started, not necessarily in skydiving, but in anything so-called extreme.
I think yeah, skydiving was my first extreme sport, you could say, but I was always playing sports growing up as a kid. I needed something to fill my time, and for me, sports were fun. Mostly team sports. I did a lot of basketball, volleyball, some soccer, and anytime in school, whatever was going on, I would play just to keep me busy because I get bored if I'm not busy doing something. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, where was growing up? Where was high school and all that?
Canada was the bulk of my childhood, or at least teenage years, but we did hop around a lot with family, living all over the place because my mom was a diplomat. So I was
Oh
born in
shit.
Denmark and lived in South America, North America, all over.
I mean, I've actually had the kids of a couple of diplomats, the most famous one in the sport being Omar Al-Hijalan.
Yep.
And the stories that he would have to tell, and I'm sure you've got the same stories of bouncing all over the place.
Yeah, as a kid, honestly, I didn't enjoy it that much because you'd have to leave your friends and move to new school and for me, learn a new language quite often. I had to. I was thrown into grade two, not knowing a single word of English in the U.S. That was in Chicago.
Oh, fuck.
So yeah, adventures like that. Like French was the same way when I moved to Canada. But
How
now
many?
looking back on it, I've got the chance to learn a lot of languages and experience different parts of the world, and
Yeah, how
it's
many
carried.
languages do you speak?
I'd like to say just three right now because I've forgotten a lot of them. I've forgotten the German, the Hungarian, and the Danish, but I still speak Spanish fluently with my family at home, and obviously English. But a little bit of Thai now that I'm living here,
Nice.
and French. The French I can still understand and read, but I'm not that comfortable speaking it.
I love how multilingual people say, "Oh, I only speak three languages," because, like, seriously, fuck you. Because I'm living in a foreign country for the third or fourth time. I do not speak the local language, and I'm just stuck with English.
It's I like to at least learn the bare minimum to get around, order my food out here in Thailand and like count my change and ask how much something costs.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just a few words here and there.
Well,
But
and I
when you're
would,
thrown into school, you don't have a choice. You have to learn, right?
of course. Well, and I'd imagine just like as in most places, the Thai probably appreciate just the effort, even if you suck at it.
Yeah, you get a big smile from them too. And I recognize when they say, "Oh, you speak Thai well." Oh, or they say it in Thai, right? So I'm like, okay, thank you, thank you.
Nice, nice. So, what was the plan before skydiving? Because especially if skydiving was your first extreme sport and you're raised by a diplomat, I'm guessing that this was not on your list as a kid.
No, not even close. It was I don't know where it came from, honestly, but let's work back. I did want to be a pilot when I was a kid, so that was in the back of my mind for a while. I ended up doing most of my PPL, but I just finished university and I'd done a tandem the previous summer with my best friend, and now I was in a position where I could try to do my AFF before I went to chiropractor college for 5 more years of school. And so, yeah, the bug hit me. I knew pretty much right away. Oh, I need to do this more. I need to maybe get a job in skydiving right from AFM. Uh, yeah, I remember one conversation specifically. Actually, I had to drive 2 hours to the drop zone from where we lived to go do our AFF and go do our coach jumps, and then 2 hours back to head to work. I was bartending at the local college bar. And yeah, it's a 2 hour drive out to the drop zone, and my instructor was like, "You have to go to work." Guess what? I'm working right now, so So I was like, fuck you, man. I want to do that.
Nice. No, I mean, that's how it hits a lot of us, right? Either you're in the sport, you fall in love with it, and you run out of money and you end up having to work in the sport because it's the only way you can keep jumping, or you just dig it so much that the heroes in your life go from, these action heroes on the movie screen to that dude doing AFF or shooting video, and you have a whole different group of people that you're like looking up to and admiring almost overnight.
Yeah, yeah, it got me right away. Um, Hey,
So,
and like you said, I didn't exactly have the money to spend on, and I mean back there too, it was way more affordable than today. But thinking of spending 5 grand on a rig and then I don't know, $20,000 to get enough jumps to become an instructor or maybe more. Um, so the solution was start packing parachutes. Yeah, I started on the packing mat and worked my ass off.
I mean, fuck, that's still one of the best paying jobs on the drop zone.
Yeah, that's great. It
I
was
mean, yeah, it's back-breaking, hand-destroying fucking work. I mean, that's just begging for arthritis as an old person, but it's a bankable job for sure.
definitely. And it kept me around the sport all the time, all day, every day. I was, listening people talk and learning things from everyone around me, and doing jumps between packing when I could. At this point, I was living in at Skydive Paris in a tent, so packing parachutes.
So you were living in the ghetto in Paris and packing the, I mean, fuck man, that was my first ever turbine drop zone.
Oh hell yeah! Ah, good memories at that place.
Oh yeah, man.
I was
I
I was waking up to I
go
was waking up to the engine starting and the planes every morning and the smell of jet fuel. So
Oh yeah, I
awesome
mean,
memories.
one of my greatest memories was with a good friend of mine by the name of Jerry Fox, and I was super low time, and me and my buddy Kevin Love drove from Vegas out to Paris, and Jerry had a shitty little pop-up trailer in the ghetto.
Yeah.
So we show up at the end of the day, the jumping's done, and we pile into his trailer and watch the very first ever episode, and it was a bootleg tape of a bootleg tape of a bootleg tape of the first episode of South Park. And got stoned in his pop-up, watched South Park probably 10 times, passed out, woke up the next day and jumped all day. And that was one of my greatest fucking memories of skydiving, was getting stoned in the ghetto in Paris watching South Park.
Yeah, man. Classic.
So you go from getting through college and getting ready to go through continuing college, and now all of a sudden you're jumping out of airplanes. What does the family think as this is happening?
Oh no, they thought I was crazy. No way. What are you doing? That's insane. So at that point, I was just like, oh, you know what, guys? I really, really like what I'm doing here. Maybe school one day in the future, but not now. I'm
Right.
gonna do this. That's it.
So you gave him the, all right, I'm just going to take a gap year kind of thing?
Yeah, yeah, something like that. So the chiropractic college was actually in San Jose, which is why I moved to California. I packed up my car in Canada, sold everything I didn't need, and just brought my car to go skydive at the drop zone. And yeah, from there, it was just 3 more months to go till school started. And in that time, I decided, not let's do this
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah. Now, what was the initial attraction to going to chiropractic school?
With sports growing up, I had a lot of injuries, and most notably my shoulder that really fucked me in volleyball. But I tried everything to fix it, and the only thing that worked was the chiropractor. He did this thing called ART, active release technique,
Okay.
where he would move the shoulder through its range of motion, like digging his thumbs in and digging these metal tools in so hard. It was the most terrible pain. But a few weeks of that, and my shoulder was good as new. So I was like, oh, I want to do
So
that to people and help them.
I guess I don't naturally associate stuff like that with chiropractic. When I think chiropractic, I just think cracking bones.
Yeah, I guess they kind of diversify a little bit and do a lot of sports rehab for people as well as,
Yeah, because
that
that's
stuff.
exactly what that sounds very much like sports rehabilitation that you would get at the higher end places. Because that's deep tissue massage and muscle manipulation, which is fucking
Yeah.
fantastic stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But the just cracking bones, it feels great, but there's not necessarily a lot of long-term good in it.
Yeah, they call it pseudoscience, right? But I was more interested in the sports side of rehab, and Cairo was one of the avenues that
Nice.
I was looking into. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I remember my only major memory with a chiropractor was after I blew up my stiletto 120 on an opening and couldn't
Oh,
turn
jeez.
my head to the left or right. And this is where I kind of look back going, "Oh my God, what were any of us thinking?" Literally 30 minutes after that, he had me on his table adjusting me. No
Did you feel
x-rays.
better?
Nah, nah. And so I look back and all I can think is if I had fractured something, the worst possible thing you can do is go cracking my fucking neck. And luckily that wasn't the case. The upside to that was his wife was actually an MD and she prescribed me a bunch of really good painkillers, so I was fine.
All right, that works.
Yeah, man. So you start jumping, you sideline school because you want to jump so much. And you were doing the packing mat thing, but what did you think your into working in the sport outside of the mat was going to be? Like, did you have a goal?
Working in the sport, the packing was just to make money to pay for my fun jumps because I wanted to, I wanted to become a wingsuit base jumper because I saw all those cool videos on the internet, right? That was the initial goal. But then hanging out at the packing mat a lot. I made some friends out there that were riggers as well. And one day I watched my friend Eric pack a reserve in front of me. I was like, okay, now this is cool. I got to learn a lot about the gear, how it's assembled, how it works. Like, it's fully closed up, so most people never get a chance to see that. And this was me with 100 skydives fresh. I was getting to learn all this stuff, and that really intrigued me. So I always want to understand how stuff works. It's
So
always
you
been me.
so you have a bit of a meticulous nature to you.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Huge into reading now.
Nice. I mean, I found it incredibly interesting as well. And I was one of those people that even with my main, for packing it up, I was pretty anal retentive in making sure that it was the way that I wanted it, and keeping things super, super clean and sharp. So the reason I never got my rigging ticket is beyond me. I should have because I would have really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, and I mean, I think more people should do it, even if they don't have plans of working as a rigger, just to understand how everything works.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I got the rigger's ticket that same year, my first year skydiving.
Nice.
It really interested me. And then from there, right after the rigging course, there was a coach course. And by this point, I had 200 jumps, so that was the minimum. So I did that, and then things just snowballed from there. Oh, you mean I can make even more money if I get tandem rating? All right, let's go.
Oh, wow. So you were all in from the beginning.
Yeah, it was one of those the loophole situations with the 3 years in the sport because I did a tandem way back, so I started early.
It's funny too, because and I've told the story a billion times on the show. I fucking fought getting my tandem rating tooth and nail. I did not want to be a tandem instructor. I'd seen too many. This is back when we were jumping all the F-111 main canopies for tandems, and it was a train wreck every time. They're just getting
Yeah.
destroyed on every opening. And I'm shooting these videos, hurting my neck just trying to keep up with their openings because they were that bad. So I got forced into it, but it's nice to hear about people like you that were like, fuck yeah, bring it on, let's go. Because I did not want to do it.
Yeah. No, I still enjoy tandems. I mean, after thousands of tandems now I'm enjoying camera flying a little bit more, but it's still good to strike a balance because you can get burnt out pretty easily if you just do the same thing over and over again forever. So,
Sure. So did you start chucking drogues at Paris?
no, I started at Mile High in Colorado.
Ooh,
My family was living out there at the time, so after my first season in Paris, the winters were getting a little cold in the desert, and this is when I started pilot training. So I stayed with my parents in Denver, and I was flying out of Centennial Airport during the winter, just waiting to start skydiving again in April. But in the
sure.
meantime.
Well,
And
you picked a challenging spot to do your flight training too.
yeah, dude, that tower, it's busy, busy place. And I think that might be the reason, because the radio was the most intimidating thing for me about flying, communicating and worrying about messing up. And I heard horror stories that if you don't like if you make a serious error in the sky, you could go to prison because you're breaking, civil aviation rules. But you can always say, "Oh, student pilot, please help me." But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's stressful.
Oh, it's incredibly stressful. I was lucky. I guess I've been verbally vomiting my entire life, so talking on the radio never scared me. But I'll never forget being flying around Sacramento Executive Airport, which is where I learned how to fly. And I'd been flying for Davis, and I think, bringing the PAC 750 over. And I was listening to a student pilot, and there were quite a few of them that flew out of Executive Airport. And he keys up the microphone, and then it goes quiet. And then he keys up the microphone, and he's Executive Tower. And the microphone goes dead again. And he finally just clearly just completely lost it. He's Executive Airport. This is John, and I'm a student pilot, and I need some help. And and you're waiting to hear how's the controller going to handle this. And the controller was so fucking cool. He's like, "Hey, John, nice to meet you. I'm Dave. Let's work this out. Where are you at?"
Perfect.
That was fucking
Perfect.
great because it could have gone so many different directions. And that kid ended up being a great pilot because he had that fucked up experience go nice, and it could have gone completely the opposite direction if he'd had a controller that was a dick.
Yeah, fair enough. Or if you fly in the wrong direction and end up somewhere you're not supposed to be, man, my navigational skills just weren't up to par, man. I couldn't see the airport at one point. I was doing cross country with my instructor, and he's like, "The airport's right there. You want to do this?" And I was like, where? I don't see it. What do you mean? Where's the airport? Right in front of you."
Yep.
Yeah, I got lost in the sky flying the plane.
I mean, it's like everything, right? You eventually learn to get that eye, but especially when you're starting, everything looks the same. And when I did my initial flight training, I was 16 years old. There was no GPS. It was all VOR and dead reckoning. And so it was pretty easy to get fucking lost.
Yeah, with the charts on your lap and all that, drawing
Yeah.
lines. Yeah.
Yeah, which oddly enough actually gets you pretty confident in flying the plane when you're doing something like that, and the thing you're doing least is flying the plane because you're too busy trying to read a fucking map and look out the window.
It's hectic.
So now, what did the family think at this point? Because you've decided not to go to school, you spent a year jumping, and now you're in Colorado trying to fly airplanes. Are they like, come on?
I feel like I've always been all over the place, dude. I pick up hobbies left, right, and center, and I get bored real quick. So I get into something really, really hard, and then I lose interest.
Yeah.
But skydiving, it's been 11 years, so far so good, right?
Nice, nice. Well, so what was after you'd been working and doing all that kind of stuff, what was the first real big milestone for you in skydiving? Like where were you when you were like, "Oh fuck, this really is me now."
Hmm. Let me think. I spent 5 years at Mile High, and I was kind of looking at options already to go abroad because I wanted to see more of the skydiving world a little bit, just like I
Hmm.
saw the world as a kid traveling. And I hadn't quite decided what I was going to do, and then I was forced to leave. Overstayed as a Canadian citizen in the U.S. So, then I had to find somewhere to go. No choice, just go now, figure it out. And Thailand had just opened up a drop zone and they were hiring. So that's how I ended up here for the first time. And that was is it 2019, just before COVID, or 2018.
Okay.
I did, yeah.
I think that's kind
I,
of when you definitely know you're on that skydiving path when you're now moving abroad and your whole life is just drop zone to drop zone.
yeah, and it's been like that since then, just all over the place. I ended up in Dubai after COVID when Thailand shut down. I did 2 seasons there, did a season in Denmark as well. The pond there was really good. Nice
Nice.
pond there, nice people, but the weather, I'm not a fan of the cold.
Well, I mean, then you either loved or hated Dubai because it's completely the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. I was always trying to chase warm weather, but Denmark at the time was the only option available. So yeah, California and Thailand, Dubai.
Nice, nice. I mean, that's the greatest thing about our sport, right? Is if you're good at what you do, there's a job anywhere in the world,
Exactly.
which
Yeah,
is
big plus.
absolutely amazing. Now, again, with very world traveled parents, have they kind of bounced around and come to where you've landed?
Yeah, they've been everywhere I've been. I was doing a winter in Belize in San Pedro. That was in 2016 or 17, and I took my dad for his first tandem there.
Nice.
And it was a really, really cool spot. We're jumping over the ocean, beautiful turquoise water with the coral reefs right there, landing on the beach. And my mom was there, but she decided not to jump. She also came to visit in Thailand, again, decided not to jump. And then in Dubai, she finally got the courage, and I got to take her on a tandem over the palm.
Oh, nice. I mean, the cool thing about Dubai is, especially for a first time tandem, visually it's pretty fucking spectacular.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
It's
I
still
do,
mind-blowing for us skydivers.
oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, fuck, I don't know how many loads that I flew in Dubai over 10 years. Thousands and thousands of loads that I flew, and there was not once that I'm on the descent from dropping jumpers that I'm very aware of how fucking cool that was.
Yeah, man. Same with flying the canopy back after the camera, or even with the tandem when you can fly close to the skyline if the winds are right.
Oh
Yeah, that
yeah.
was really cool.
Absolutely. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't consider Dubai a beautiful place. At the end of the day, it is a dusty desert, but it's fucking spectacular. The city is beautiful at night. During the day, it's just kind of tan. But when you're skydiving over the palm, there's such a huge contrast between the color of that water specifically and the Palm Island and all that stuff. It's a pretty cool place to jump.
Yeah, I agree. And also, it was just too hectic and chaotic for me, the city life. So that's why I'm enjoying the chill beach life here in Thailand a lot more. Dubai was cool for the jumping, not so much for the living for me
Yeah,
personally.
no, I'll tell you what, I was the same way, man. I would leave the drop zone, put the plane to bed and go home. And I didn't do much of the nightlife in Dubai. I mean, I ghosted my own goodbye party after an hour. I'm like, all right, see you guys, I'm done.
Out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So where did the competition stuff start coming in for you?
The comps, my first one is in Denmark, and it just happened to be that the season I was working there, they were hosting the Sunpath Open, and there was a pond right there, so I could train a little bit. And I just kind of entered it on a whim without really much thought. I'm like, oh, it could be fun. Wasn't something I was trying to pursue seriously. But yeah, it went all right. I enjoyed the precision that you have to fly the course and building the maximum amount of speed, which I was always a fan of swooping the drop zone, swooping close to stuff. Um, and then the comps really brought out a little bit more for me because you
Eh,
could nerd out on the details and the scores and the top speeds and all that.
sure.
So from there, yeah, I did Sunpath. Maybe I did one. There was one more. I did the Pink Open that
Okay,
same
nice.
season, and it's a really cool place. That one, you're swooping over the trees on one of the approaches, so the visuals are super hectic. If it looks like you're gonna hit the trees on the roll up before you hit the water.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, and it gets kind of bumpy back there, turbulence over the trees. Sometimes you get dropped on the water,
Oh, I
but
bet.
good opportunity from learning because that's all the pro pilots love that comp, the Pink Open. Everybody goes there.
Sure.
So there's lots of chances to learn from the pros, just standing around and listening to them talk or asking them questions because most of the time they're happy to help.
Sure.
Um,
Well, and I would imagine too that for just someone who enjoyed swooping, you enter that first competition just for a little bit of fun, and then you find yourself not just being able to geek out on the little details of a competition, but you're surrounded by a bunch of people that are loving doing the exact same thing. So it's got to be, I mean, it's very much its own little subculture in skydiving for sure.
yeah, the swoop scene for sure. And it's a very individual sport because it's just you under that parachute. But yeah, the swooping community is amazing. Everyone helps each other out. Everyone goes to the same comp, so you get to see everyone every year and
Well,
people from all over the world.
and that's the cool thing about it, though, right? Is it's a very individual sport, and obviously everybody's battling it out to win. But it's one of the few sports like that where if you're on the ground observing it, you're watching the competitors that just landed cheering on the guys that are setting up for their run, which is super fucking cool. Because at the end of the day, it's friends battling friends and sometimes family battling family in these
Yeah,
competitions.
exactly. There's a few
Which,
brothers out there.
yes, it's fucking cool. Well, and then even husbands and wives that are on the same team, but they're still fighting.
Exactly.
I mean, it's fucking cool.
Yeah, it's a good time for sure. I'm enjoying it. It gets a little expensive, but you do it for the fun because we're not winning any any big pools of cash, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is right. I've had some of the best and current world champions on, and that's the running thing is, all right, so you have to love doing this because you're not getting jack shit out of it.
Yeah,
Like
not much.
if your bills are getting covered, you're probably considered doing well.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's definitely it's a joy to watch, but it's also a bit nerve-wracking, and especially with all the advances in equipment. Because I remember when the hottest canopy on the market and the only one anybody was flying were the Velo, and
Yeah.
now you've got three or four different, competition level canopies that are all just insane rocket ships, and now you've got the Mutant harness as well, which is fucking next level.
Yeah, the mutants changed the game for sure. It's mind blowing. It can take even a square docile canopy like a Saber 3 and make it an absolute machine. I remember doing my first the orientation for the mutant. They do usually 5 jumps, and you put on a bigger canopy, a really docile canopy. And man, that Saber 3, I just turned it a little bit, and it was diving, it was vertical, it was going, it was yeah. I did not expect it to go the way it did.
Why?
Yeah, and then just imagine putting the next level canopy on, putting on a Velo, and then putting on a Valkyrie or a Leia, and then that's not even the top comp wings.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Well, and I remember the first time that I watched one flying, and then I flashed back to tips that I had gotten as a younger jumper, just starting to fly more higher performance canopies, because my go-to was to have my left leg kind of tucked up under me and my right leg out in front of me. So I didn't get that head first swoop style. I had my feet out first. And I remember one of the
mm.
old school swoopers saying you shouldn't do that because you're going to bust your tailbone if you fuck up. It's not going to be a hip check, it's going to be your tailbone. And then I see the mutant flying, and I'm like, oh, okay, shit, there's only one spot you're hitting first.
Yeah, the margins. Yeah, it's that worried me too when I started out, honestly. Yeah, your tailbone's gonna hit first. It's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah,
You're paralyzed if you make a mistake or
yeah.
worse.
Well, I mean, but at the speeds that you guys are carrying in competition now, I don't think it so much matters anymore. Like, I mean, what's the current world record for speed?
Gonzalo is a 1.6 something, 8.9 or 8.8, sub
Jesus.
1.7.
This is
Which if you average that out, I think that's an average 150 kilometers an hour through the course, something like that.
I mean, free fall speeds on landing.
Yeah, definitely. And like entry gate speeds in South Africa just a few months ago, I was doing 104, 106 coming through the gates, miles an hour.
That
Yeah,
is
so
so fucking insane. I mean, me in a baggy suit and free fall can slow down to that.
yeah, I
It's
think we're gonna start seeing some cool stuff with mutants and free fall with people. For sure. It's definitely possible now.
Well, I mean, you're in a we're in a time now where a high performance canopy like that going for broke on a hardcore run has a more run out than a fucking Cessna landing.
Holy shit, is that right?
Yeah, man. I mean, I can, especially a fucking turbine with reverse, I can shut down a Pac 750 faster than you guys could shut down after a speed run, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you guys,
we're going well over 100 meters, sometimes 150 even on the speed run.
yeah, it's fucking mental, man. You guys are just go, go, go. And especially someplace like South Africa where you're already talking about a pretty fucking racy spot.
Yeah, that was fast for sure.
I mean, what, it's at ground elevation of 4,000 feet or something?
Yeah, just over 4,000 feet, and with the on a hot day with the density altitude, I think they were getting up to 7.5, 8,
It's just fucking crazy.
fast as fuck. So I learned to swoop in Colorado actually. So that was 5,200 feet. ground level.
Yep.
And yeah, imagine Nick Batch was my coach there, a local guy there, but yeah, shout out to
Nice.
him.
Yeah,
Um,
I've had a couple of good conversations with Nick.
yeah, oh, I've definitely heard those
Yeah.
on here on the podcast. But yeah, cool place to learn to swoop because you're already going fast. And then when I went to sea level, I was like, oh, this is a little slow, it's a little boring. Let's downsize.
Yep. So I'm gonna fall back to the family again and ask. So through this whole thing, first it was the skydiving for fun, then it was a break from school and skydiving for work, and then it was working and I'm gonna fly a little bit. And now all of a sudden you're flying canopies at over 100 miles an hour. What? How are they? Are they coping well? Are they?
They've accepted it. Yeah, they've accepted it. I think it got to the point where it was just a few weeks ago actually. We were talking about I'm doing some canopy coaching out here, and my mom just said, "Oh yeah, it's cool how far you've come. You made it your career." And yeah, I mean, people pay me to teach them stuff, and I get to do the stuff that I'm teaching for fun and also get paid. It's a win-win. I don't think there's anything else I'd rather be doing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I think all parents do that. Mine did as well. They finally just come around to the fact that, well, all right, this is what our kid's gonna do. So at least they're good at it and they're enjoying. But I always am curious to see how families react. And for the most part, everybody I've talked to has had amazingly supportive families.
Yeah, it's hard not to be if you can see that they're enjoying it so much, right?
Sure.
And
So
if you're a
now,
skydiver, you know.
what happened to the initial dream of the wingsuit base jumping down crazy mountains?
Oh, I did that. Yeah, I did lots of that. Still, I got more goals because it's not something you can kind of just pick up and get back to. You have to really put in the time so you don't go in.
Yeah.
So there was a couple seasons where I did lots of training and went, but it's got to be revisited soon. Yeah, there's mountains left to be flown for sure.
Was that did you like go and do a proper base course for your first time out?
Yeah, I learned from a local base jumper in Colorado, just like a low key course. They didn't have that many official base schools back then, so it was just like a mentoring situation. And I did a lot of local jumping with friends in Colorado, slider off. So something like a few seasons of slider off, almost 600 base jumps without a slider. And
Wow.
then I finally did a trip to Europe and I just skipped the tracking suit, went to the wingsuit, but I had some good guidance, so I think it's all right. I already knew how to fly a wingsuit pretty well in the sky. I had lots of base jumps, no tracking, just let's go.
I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm not a base jumper. I'm certainly not a wingsuit base jumper. I appreciate the people that take enough time to get to the point where they are ready. It's the ones that are just like, fuck it, let's see what happens. Those are the ones that scare the shit out of me. But as long as some forethought and preparation goes into it, then I take a deep breath and go, all right, man, go for it.
Definitely. And yeah, I'm not the kind of guy to just huck it. I need to understand everything and all the details and really make sure before I get myself into something like that. So
Well, and that seems to be the big thing, right? Especially for the successful guys that are flying these really intricate routes. I didn't know until I started talking to people just how much prep goes into not even opening a new line, but just getting ready for a specific line and checking everything from the angle of the slope to where you're going to be to I mean everything, which is
yeah,
incredible.
it's a full on science they do. I didn't get that deep and to start like lasering my own routes and finding new flights, but I go with experienced friends and they're like, "Hey, fly this, fly it high, you're chilling," and then they fly it nice and deep. And obviously, when you're diving down to the terrain, you have all that speed; it can pull you back up at any moment.
Yeah.
But you have to gradually work yourself there, and
Yeah.
it takes some serious commitment if you want to do it
Sure.
all
Well,
in.
I remember I had Matt Munting and Nick Scalabrino, who you would know from Dubai, on the podcast a number of times. And before I knew anything about it, I would see these videos of guys really just trimming the fucking treetops. And I hated seeing them that low because I'm like, fuck, one little downdraft and you're just gone. And they had to explain to me how hard it is to stay that close and
Yeah.
that that the natural tendency is for you to get pushed away from the slope, not into it. And that actually made
Exactly.
me feel a lot better now watching the videos, although I still fucking hate seeing shadows on the side of the
Oh,
goddamn.
it's insane. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But the
And it,
feeling, oh my God, the feeling. I haven't been that close, but already for me, it's one of the coolest feelings you can experience.
which is why
Flying
I'm
down.
so glad I never did it, because I know I would have gotten hooked on it, and I just don't need that fucking level of commitment in my life. So
Yeah.
what's coming up in the near future for you? What's are there competitions coming up? Are there travels coming up?
Let's see. Work. I got a few projects on the go. I'm trying to run this tandem camera flying training course. After my time in Dubai with the really, really strict camera standards they have there, it just, yeah, I nerded out on it. And so now I've been coaching a few people here to get their exits better, tighter, the framing to be more precise, the flying. Because you don't want, I mean, you want that money shot, right? You want the reaction straight out the door of the customer's face as soon as they hit the wind, and you want to stick with them right there in front. If you're 10 meters away and the tandem's a speck in the shot,
Yeah.
there, So I'm teaching people to stay close, and I want to get traveling and coaching this camera flying thing around the world if I can manage. So that's a
Dude, that's
project
awesome.
on.
Well, I mean, again, you use Dubai as a reference. Just say a lot, good or bad, either way. Their fucking camera game has been on point for a very long time.
Yeah, definitely.
And even in the time that I was there, when I first arrived there, the camera flying was fantastic, but now it's fucking next level. I mean, I considered myself a pretty decent camera flyer back in the day, and I wouldn't put any of my videos up against an average camera flyer in Dubai now.
It's the new standard. Yeah, people are using Dubai as industry standard for top-notch
Yeah,
camera flying, which is
yeah.
cool.
Front float fucking standing exits where you're practically fucking giving high fives all the way down the slide and
Yeah,
only
exactly.
backing off to get the wider shot. It really is spectacular, and it was one of the things that I loved when people would ask, "So, oh, Skydive Dubai, what's that about?" All you have to do is hit play on a video and go, "That's what it's about."
Yeah, and the videos are the biggest marketing tool for a drop zone. So what I'm trying to do is convince drop zones that they'll sell more videos and more tandems if they level up their camera flyers. So that's the
Yeah,
goal. We're
yeah,
calling it perfect shot.
awesome. That's fantastic. Well, and it's great to have it spread across the industry because at the end of the day, any drop zone makes every other drop zone look better if they're doing it right.
Yeah, agreed.
Like it's
It'll grow the sport.
just awareness of the sport, man. No such thing. Well, there is such thing as bad press in skydiving, but for the most part, it's great to have it out there. So
Yeah.
tell people where you're at now, where you're jumping, how they can find out more about your camera course, and how they can follow you in upcoming competitions and any base jumping shit you might get up to.
Yeah, social media is Instagram is Max Yaks. That's Yaks. Oh, there's a story there, but maybe we won't get into it this time. And so Max Yaks on Instagram, and the camera flying coaching is Perfect Shot Coaching at Perfect Shot dot coaching on Instagram. Sorry.
Perfect shot dot coaching. Okay, cool. So the Max Yaks, you threw up on something?
No, no, it was a play on words with my last name. It was mispronounced by one of my teachers, so it was pronounced lazy yak. And I didn't think lazy was a good word to throw on your like professional profile. So I was like,
All
okay,
right.
let's use yak somehow.
No, I
Uh,
like it. I like it. And people can infer whatever the fuck they want from a
yeah, yeah,
nickname.
yeah.
I mean, I spent almost 30 years in the industry being called Princess. So you kind of fucking, you
You
work
get
with
what you
what,
get.
yeah, you work with what you got, man. Well, Max, I'll tell you what, I know you've just finished up a day at the drop zone, so I thank you so much for taking the time at the end of a day to sit down and talk some shit with me. I can't wait to see what comes next, especially with you trying to, kind of up the game with the video standards and stuff and see what you get up to with competition as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dean. Yeah,
A-
it's been cool being on.
Absolutely, Max. You take care, man.
Thank you. Bye
See ya.
bye.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Lunatic Fringe podcast brought to you as always by, well, wait, not as always, actually. Brought to you now by Gyro. Formerly known as NZ Aerosports, you'll head to gyro.com for their next level line of canopies. By Pussfoot, the Extreme Sports Collective. Head over to pussfoot.com to check it out. By Summit Parachute Systems, check out summitparachutesystems.com to talk to Jarrett Martin and the gang about kick-ass pilot rigs, rigging courses, and more. By Flyaway Indoor Skydiving, go to flyawaytn.com and check out all the cutting-edge stuff to come. By Pure Spectrum CBD, head to purespectrumcbd.com to check out their wide range of CBD products. And as for us, head to the lunaticfringepodcast.com to listen to any of the hundreds of episodes currently available, hit the link for our YouTube channel, pick up your copy of the Lunatic Fringe book or The Accidental Stripper, and get a sneak peek at upcoming guests. Once again, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.